Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. And this is probably episode 5 or 6. So if this is your first time here, I'm Gary.
And I'm Cassie.
And we thank you so much for stopping by today. So Cassie has a little bit of what I had the other day. The allergies have finally caught up to her.
Some people commented, Gary sounds congested. And now I am.
And I was congested, and luckily I've gotten a little bit better. I think the medicine finally kicked in. So hopefully she'll get to feeling better in no time.
We've been outside a lot lately, and so being outside, and I have allergies, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, but we're here now, and we're going to share a little bit about why we got the goat shelter that we got. So if you saw by the title, that's kind of our topic for the day, is these lumber prices are outrageous. And it made me think, how bad can it really be? Because we just built this house. So this house we're sitting in right now, we built it 3.5, 4 years ago. And I am a little bit of a nerd, is what Cassie would call it. So what did I get, Cassie, when we decided to build the house?
A trapper keeper?
A trapper keeper. So I hadn't had a trapper keeper since way back in middle school, probably. Taking it back a few years. But I got a trapper keeper, printed me off a bunch of line paper, or got me a lot of line paper, and yeah, kept track. So you got all the prices right there of all the stuff we went through and bought.
Someone's got to do it though.
Yeah, got all my receipts, got all my bids that I went with, all the bids I didn't go with. And I held on to that because I don't know why. I'll probably never use it again.
I thought you were going to tell us why.
Because I was planning on starting a YouTube channel in the future, and I needed this piece of paper. So, long story short, I went back 3 years ago, and I wanted to find out because everybody's like, man, lumber's so high, lumber's so high. We hadn't really been building anything recently. I mean, I bought a few boards here or there. We built a chicken coop last spring. Was it last spring?
Yeah.
When we built the mobile coop? Last fall. And I went with some milled lumber because lumber was higher. But I never did sit down and see exactly how much higher it was. So I wanted to do that whenever we decided we needed a goat shelter, just to find out how bad it was. And it was bad. So ultimately, as you've seen in our last videos, if you've caught up with us, you saw that we built we didn't build it, I ordered and they installed a carport that's enclosed on 2 sides. And so far it looks like it's going to work out great. But how much was that compared to the lumber prices? So let's take a quick look. So back in October of 2017, we bought an entire lumber package. So I just picked 3 boards out of there to do a little comparison to what Lowe's prices are today. So pretty simple comparison. So one thing we bought a lot of were 2x6 studs. Every exterior wall in our house is 2x6. All our plumbing walls are 2x6. And 2017 prices, a 2x6 9-foot stud went for $5.50. Today's price, $13.67. So I mean $5.50 to $13.67, and that is a 148% increase. Just another example was a OSB board, so oriented strand board. If you're familiar with that, they wrap houses in it. It's very common. Sometimes they put it on roofs. A sheet of that, a 4x8 sheet, when we built our home was $15.44. How much you think it is?
Seems like a lot then.
How much you think it is today, Cass?
$30.
$44.20. 186% price increase. And so, I mean, that's just a couple of things. One more was, a 2x4 that was 16 foot long. So if we would have built a goat shelter, we would have had to have several of those long 2x4s, just like that, 16 foot. And the price back then was, let's see, is that one right? Right there. Sorry, I've got a lot of lines here. $8.62. Today's price, $17.83. So, I mean, on average, I think that one was 126%, 148, 186. So about 150% price increases. So we've had several friends building houses right now, and they're like, lumber is high. And so I can say it was really high. And once we found out how high it was, we started looking for other materials to build with. And we talked about a carport off and on. I've talked about one for years for a chicken coop or just to park the tractor under, different things. But we got serious about it. And about the time we got serious about looking, I found a place that sold them. You could go on their website and you could do your little design. And
yeah, that was cool, being able to see it and pick and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's called Allen's Carports. But they were all installed by Carolina Carports. It's kind of like the main installer. But we went on there, did the design work. I got a price on it. The one we have right now, and I'll show you pictures of it right now. It's 20 by 21. It's enclosed on 3 sides, and we paid around $2,500 for it. So just full disclosure, that's what we paid. Whenever I showed the price to Cassie, there was a little note down there on the page, the web page, that said prices will increase 20% and it said however many days it was. And so I was like, if we're gonna get one, we need to get now. And Keeping It Dutch hadn't even decided to sell his goats yet at that point.
No.
We just knew that we had Xena and we were wanting to get some goats in the near future, or maybe some other animals. So we knew we needed a shelter,
and we knew we'd use it eventually.
Yeah, I would even park, like I said, my tractor under it. If we ever sell our goats, we'll still use it for something. But a 20% increase versus 150% increase. So I don't know if metal prices just haven't caught up with wood. If the supply and demand for wood is just so much higher. I know the pandemic affected the wood mills to some degree. I have no idea. So maybe you guys know why wood prices are so much dramatically higher.
Well, I've heard people say that when they had to take a break, that got them behind.
Yeah.
So. And
then the demand, I think, increased at the same time because interest rates, for them to keep the economy going, they dropped interest rates to nothing, which if you haven't refinanced and you are in the market to refinance, you better get that done. But maybe that's the combination, just the perfect storm. But 150% increase versus 20% increase, it was pretty much a no-brainer for us to go with the goat shelter. So I'll leave you guys a link if you're interested in those carports. The prices did increase. I went back out and checked on the website. So they increased 20%. So just for instance, our shelter, it would have went up at $500. Yeah, it's $250. 2,500 divided by 10%, 250.
That's too early for math.
Yeah, so it would have went up $500. So instead of 2,500, we would have paid 3,000. So I'm glad that we locked in that price when we did. It took them about 60 days, 30 to 60 days.
Yeah, I can't remember, but like you said, we weren't getting goats or anything, so there's a little bit of time.
Yeah, but they got it installed, and we're happy with it. So that kind of leads us into the next topic of planning and what's going on in the next couple of videos. So as far as what's coming up in the near future, planning on putting in some panels in that goat shelter so the goats don't push up against it, or if the cattle get in there, they don't push up against the walls and bend that metal out. I know that metal's not the sturdiest thing. It's not as sturdy as pipe fence or something. So we're going to be getting in there hopefully this weekend or just as soon as possible.
Goats can tear up everything, so.
Yeah, goats are hard on everything, especially if you get in there and start trying to wrestle them around and worm them and trim their hooves and all the stuff. But I will be glad to have their feeder in there to where like whenever it rains, it doesn't fill their feeder up. If it's raining outside, I can still go in there and feed them. Right now, I have to wait until that ends. But we'll get that done. You got anything else coming out of eggs anytime soon?
Well, because we have a trip coming up, I have to kind of reevaluate what I'm doing. So turkeys should be here soon. And I was planning on hatching out some more ducks, but Gary just brought it to my attention that we're leaving soon.
Yes. And so we might be out of town.
I might need, can you hire someone to babysit your incubator? Like, we're going to have someone house set, so they could
it could be a science experiment. You know, some kid at school, could you just put it onto them and say, hey, you guys, to get a passing grade in science this year, you have to do Cassie's ducks.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, so Cassie's going to work on that. If you guys have any ideas, let her know. But that's a lot of what's coming up in the future.
Kevin said I should just take them to my sister, and I told her City Girl wouldn't know what to do.
She would be completely grossed out by that whole process.
Even though she's a nurse.
Even though she's a nurse.
Wah.
Yeah, because it's an animal. It's not a human. Yeah, she would be out. And if she's watching this, yeah, she'll tell you she's out.
She was very intrigued though when she was here and the chickens were hatching. Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
So we still have our little angels, our 2 foster kids that are here with us. In the videos, we've been trying to... So it's really difficult for me because they want to come in and they want to be in the video, so I'll record them just so I don't take that away from them. I want to treat all our kids the same. And then in editing, we kind of remove what we have to. So you guys probably do hear them a little bit, but you still won't see any faces or anything that tells who they are. And
the rule is like 50% or like side profile. So if you get bits and pieces, it's not against the rules.
Yeah.
It just can't be full on face.
It's not a big deal, and we're not going to say their names. We're not going to say anything about, like I say, their full face or anything like that. We're just trying to follow the rules. We're rule followers, people. If not, we don't want to put anybody's privacy at risk because that's not us. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, but they said the other day something, and they said, I like it here because you make videos.
I didn't know what they'd think about it because they the first time I get in the camera and go outside and start recording the dogs and the goats, and they're like, what?
It's just a part of kids' everyday lives now, though.
Yeah, and once Ranger and Ransom and Mazzy talk about YouTube, and they're like, oh, they put 2 and 2 together, and they're like, oh, this is cool now. So, so they were somewhat
impressed. They think we're way cooler than what we really are.
Yeah, way cooler. So they are doing great. Thank you so much. Some of you have sent some things in the mail that's on the way. Some of you sent a little bit of money, and we're actually going to go try to get some bicycles maybe this weekend. So thank you guys for that. You don't have to do that, obviously, but whatever you send, we're going to give to them, and we do appreciate the gestures there. That was very, very kind and very thoughtful of you. So thank you.
Others have asked if we have DoorDash and things like that, wanting to send us a meal, but we do not have DoorDash. No. But we truly appreciate it. We're good. We're fine. We got lots of people helping us out. But we appreciate all the little things you guys do. But more than anything, we appreciate your prayer.
Yeah, and we're getting settled in now. And so I think that's a good transition to praying. Yeah. So we went over planning, kind of what's been going on and what's coming up. But as far as praying goes, our good friends, Kevin and Rachel over at Hidden Heights Farm, they lost their longtime livestock guardian dog, Daisy, this week. And so we've been in prayer for them. We ask that you continue to pray for them. They just, it's one of those things.
It's never easy losing a farm animal, but especially a farm animal that was like family and that was a valuable asset to your farm.
Yeah.
That's even harder, especially when the kids are attached, you're attached, all the things.
Yeah, and dogs, I'm not saying cows, they're both animals, but a dog is more of a companion type animal, and you grow close to them. They like I said, they spend time protecting your property and your assets. So they're just a lot different relationship there. So please be in prayer for Kevin and Rachel. I know they'll be looking for a new one, a new livestock guardian dog. I know they won't be able to replace Daisy, but they're gonna. They have to have something on that side of their farm to protect their goats. We we didn't realize the separate pins and stuff until we went over
Yeah.
to their place, but there's a clear separation of 2 different pins, and one of them was
Daisies
Daisies.
and one Mojo.
and one belonged to Mojo, and so just doesn't work out that Mojo can go do both jobs. So pray for them that they find the right dog and it comes really quickly. So I think that's all we have for catching up with the walkers today. We do want to thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to watch this video. Hopefully a little bit of information we shared with you about the goat shelter and lumber and stuff helped you out if you're in the market to build. But we do hope you have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.